So we're going to talk about starting things messy, starting things nervous. And to be honest, this is something that I feel like I've been doing my whole life. I always have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I'm wanting to create. And a lot of the time, like, I tend to jump in before I am like 100% ready. However, I am also like a serial planner and serial organizer behind the scenes. If it's something that I'm like really nervous about, or feeling really uncomfortable, like it's completely out of my comfort zone, then I'm a little bit like, oh my gosh. And I go into like crazy planning mode and don't take the first step. So this has been quite the repeat pattern for me. So one thing I have talked about a few times is starting my podcast. This is probably about 3 years ago now, I think. I made the mistake of saying that I wanted to start a podcast, and I was in a coaching group. And my coach at the time said, when are you starting? When's the first episode going up? And I thought, I'm sorry, pardon? And it was like this moment of, what did I say? Like, what did I say? But it was the best thing for me, because I remember I actually joined that coaching group because I was really self-conscious about how I speak and how I articulate myself. And I was hyper aware that I quite often, when I go to say something, I feel like I'm not making sense, or it takes me a little while to explain myself. And that makes me feel so nervous. And so it was the best thing for me. She said to me, it's free to do. It's simple as grab your phone, just got an audio recorder on it, record yourself talking. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is that actually like it's so funny, because I remember I made it into be such a giant thing in my head, starting a podcast. And I think really it wasn't. I knew it wasn't a big thing, but the thing that was holding me back was that kind of uneasiness about what I would say. Would I know what to say? Would people believe me? Am I going to make sense? Am I just going to get up and yap? And yeah, probably, right? And though it was the best thing for me, because it just got me used to hopping on and speaking about topics, chatting, talking to people, interviewing people, all of the things, and also hearing my own voice. So that was the best thing for me, to just start messy. Yes, it wasn't perfect at all. It wasn't, well, it was actually probably better than what I expected, right? Like, I worked out how to do an intro. I didn't need one, but I suddenly thought, oh, after I'd recorded a couple of episodes and I had them stored on my phone, and I was like, oh, okay, like maybe I do know how to do this. Maybe I can record an intro and add in music. And so I ended up doing that. So it actually was like probably better than what I thought it was going to be. And though it wasn't perfect, I just started off messy, started off before I was ready, started off without this giant plan, without planning it down to like the first 50 episodes, and getting everything absolutely perfect. I'm a big dreamer. I love having a vision for things, and I love planning it. However, I do believe that when I personally do that, I get in my own head. I get really, really overwhelmed, because I get really focused and stuck in the big plan, the big goal, the big dream. So while I find that, yes, it is really important for me to have that big goal and that big dream and really feel into that vision, it's really then important for me to be intentional about moving myself out of that space and going, okay, like, what action's actually going to bring this to life? Like, what is going to compound? Not the fluffy stuff, not like planning it 50 million times and down to a millisecond, but like, actually, what are the actions that I'm going to do that's going to kind of bring it to life? And that's actually a whole other recording, right? I'm going to record a whole other recording on that after this, actually. However, I wanted to talk about the starting messy and starting nervous. So another example of like just starting messy and just starting nervous was this YouTube channel. So I did actually start a YouTube channel, it must be a couple of years ago, and I thought, I'm going to start posting videos. And I think I posted like one, maybe two, and then I like freaked out. I just was like, oh my God, I can't do it. Like, I wanted to do it. I wanted to build a YouTube channel. And at the same time, I was like, I can't do this. I didn't want to video myself. I didn't want to edit myself. I didn't know what to talk about. And I started going in that spiral, right? And I stopped myself, and really held myself back. So end of last year, I love the end of the year, because you really start reflecting on like what you want to do differently next year and what you want to create. And I like like love that feeling. But I was a little bit overwhelmed when the very strong feeling came through me of like a video, like you need to start videoing, you need to start expressing yourself through video, through audio, get it out there. There are people that are out there that need to hear what you have to say. You have to get on video. I was like, oh God, like I remember feeling like excited. Oh, my leg has gone dead. I remember feeling really excited and also just so nervous because I was like, are you serious? Like, are we going to do this? But then my vision really started to grow from there. So there's been quite a few learnings along the way of starting my podcast, starting my YouTube channel, lots of things that I've sort of started maybe before I was ready or just started while I was still nervous and started a little bit messy. So I'm going to share some of my learnings. One of the things that really stopped me in the past was trying to do things perfectly from the get-go. So to just realize that you're going to evolve over time and then it's never going to be perfect because you're always going to be able to make it better and different and learn new tips and tools and things like that along the way. It's like you just learn on the go. And I know in the past that really stopped me from being able to start things because I was like, I don't know how to do it perfectly. I don't know how to get all my ducks in a row and really get it set up like pristine, whether that be my podcast or my YouTube channel or whatever it is that I'm creating that's really stopped me in the past if I'm trying to make it like perfect from the get-go. Just realizing that things change, especially when it comes to anything you're doing with technology. Like technology will change over time anyway. So just understanding that you will like literally learn as you go. So just get creating. Another thing I learned was there's something that you don't know how to do and that's stopping you from starting is to just ask. Like literally, I remember when I started my podcast, I was like, but what do I edit my audios on? Like, do I need to edit them in some way? And do I need to upload them to something else before I upload them to like Spotify, for example? And it was so funny because all I did, like, it was like, people that have started podcasts before, ask the question. Like, ask the question. And the other thing I did is Google AI, ask people, it's not that hard, right? And we make it so hard and such a big deal in our head. And it's like, just ask the question. So my learnings there was literally sometimes there's just one simple thing that's like holding me back from being able to start. Learning to do that one little thing that could then open your world to be able to create what you are feeling called to create is huge. So if there is one barrier, like you're wanting to start art again, but you can't find your paintbrushes, go and buy a new paintbrush. Borrow some paintbrushes. If you're wanting to start a business and you're like, oh, where do I even start? Like with the behind the scenes, like tech stuff or like registering a name or anything like that. Do you know someone that started a business? Can you Google and look up your country's registration process? Like ask the question. It's interesting. We often use that kind of, I don't know how to, as an excuse or reason that we haven't started. And really, we just haven't asked the question or haven't learned that one thing that we need to do to get the ball rolling. One of the other things that I learned was how powerful just starting is. Like if you just start, it creates momentum and it's easier to keep going. Starting is often the hardest part, and so is restarting. So if you are maybe in the middle of something, but you've like stopped and you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't get started again. Literally just making that first step to start or start again just gets the momentum going. It is so much easier to keep the momentum going once you've started. Another challenge for me is having so many ideas with my like ADHD brain of like having so many ideas that I want to start everything at once. And so going and like going in all different directions at the same time, or having so many ideas that I get overwhelmed and so I don't do any of them. So that's been a really interesting like challenge for me, and learning is to figure out what I'm really, really excited, what I'm feeling into right now, and also what is going to have a knock-on effect naturally to the other things. So often a lot of the ideas that I have are actually intermingled, right? They all kind of can knock on to each other. And so really starting in one place and understanding that it's going to have a compound effect onto the other areas has been really helpful so that allowing my brain to actually start something has been really, really helpful, because if I don't allow it to start something, it will get so overwhelmed that it doesn't start anything. So it's actually more important that I do something to start the momentum without allowing myself to start a million things at once. But if I just allow myself to start that one thing and start that momentum, then it stops me from being stagnant and stuck. So actually, creation has been the best thing that's actually been able to help me move forward. So I love starting nervous. I love starting a little bit messy, because that creation actually really helps me move forward, even if I do slightly pivot in different directions as I go. So I hope those learnings have been really helpful for you. So one question you could ask yourself is, what is something that you've been really wanting to start right now, and you just haven't managed to take that first step? This could be a podcast. Maybe it's like running. Maybe it is a business. Maybe it is like a stronger community. What's something you've been feeling the pull to create and you just haven't taken that move? Another question you could ask yourself is, what is like one thing that you can do that would just get you started? Like, if you are wanting to start running, could you just run one block on your walk today? Or could you run one in every 10 blocks? Or maybe if you're wanting to start a podcast, could you just record yourself talking in the audio on your phone? Could you just say, oh my gosh, I've been wanting to do this for so long, and just start talking and see what comes out? Maybe you've been wanting to start a business. You've had these ideas like flying around in your head for ages. Start a Pinterest board. Start to gather your ideas, like the vibe for the business, right? The branding, the colors, the energy behind it. Start to gather your ideas. And if you've done that, what's it going to be called? What's it going to be for? Like, who's it going to be for? What's the business going to be doing? Like, get specific on those details. It all starts to move it forward. So ask yourself, what is that like one step that you can do that would just start? Because as I said, like, starting is often the hard part. Okay, another really important thing to ask yourself is, you've seen everybody else do this thing, haven't you? You've been inspired, you've been influenced, you've seen how everybody else does it. How would you do it? What's your way? What is going to be your little taste to it, right? If you see other people out there running 10Ks, is it that you want to run marathons? Is it that you just want to go for gentle jogs? Is it that you want to go for a little run with your dog? Is it that you want to be able to go on runs with your girlfriend? Is it that, like, what's going to be your spin on it? Podcast, what's going to be your spin on it? What's going to be your flavor? What's going to be your color? How are you going to come through in it? Because most of the things that we want to do and we get called to create, we've seen somewhere in the world around us. And so we're naturally influenced and inspired, but we need to put our own flavor on it. So just ask yourself, okay, great. I've seen what everyone else has done. How would I do it? Like, what's my way? Right? It's a little bit like decorating a cake, or, altering a recipe. Like, there'll be what's your special little magic touch? What's your different way of decorating that cake? What's your difference when you're starting your business? So I'm really excited to hear what that one thing is that you're wanting to do right now. And I'm interested to hear what that first step is that you take. So reach out, let me know. Let me know how you get started and how that creates momentum for you to keep going. I'm really excited to hear. So I encourage you, if you've been watching this, what's your one thing? Go and do that one thing today. Not the fluff, not the planning. Like, if you're wanting to do drawing, go and buy the sketch pad, right? If you're wanting to learn how to sing, book that singing class. Like, if you're wanting to start a podcast or start a YouTube channel, set up that channel today. Like, sign up, make your account. Like, take that step that it's like, oh wow, I can't actually do it if I haven't signed up for the platform. Oh, I can't actually draw if I haven't got the paper to draw on. Yeah. So take that one step that's like, oh right, like, I can't actually start unless I do that. So I'm so excited to hear what you guys are wanting to create, whether you're a businesswoman and you're wanting to create a business or something special within your business, or maybe there's a creative project or a passion project that you're wanting to do. Maybe you are wanting to start like a stronger community around your home, around your neighborhood. Like, what are you going to do to bring people together? I'm super excited to hear what you guys are creating, what ideas, what businesses, what passion projects you've been wanting to bring to life, and what your one thing is that you're going to do to like get yourself started and get the momentum going. So let me know, comment below, private message me, whatever you want. I am excited to hear from you. Start showing up nervous, start showing up messy, and let's see what we can create.